hello. Hi there. Hello. I am your host, Chandelier Pancakes, and welcome to Impossible Coin. I'm joined today by Rocky Hardy from El Paso, Texas. Rocky, how are you?
I'm not going to bite this chandelier. Not again. Not this time. No way.
Buddy, I'm not asking you to bite anything. How are you, friend?
I am still alive, and I plan to keep it that way. I remember what happened last time, okay? You're not going to trick me again.
Fair
Not
enough.
this time.
Fair enough.
What happened?
Well, good buddy, there's only 18 days until the election. How you feeling?
I don't know. I feel like voter turnout's better than it used to be. So hopefully it isn't all front-loaded, and we end up with a historic turnout. I don't think it's going to get higher than 60% or anything, because, I'm not insane.
Right.
People seem motivated, and hopefully that translates to, more civic engagement over the long term.
Sure, I would like to think that it doesn't take the possibility of another 4 years of darkness and the continued reign of Dracula to get people to participate in government, but...
Honestly, if Dracula was our president, that would be something interesting to fight about, except for I just watched Vampires vs. the Bronx, so, vampires are not cool.
How was that? I've been considering watching it alone in my room at night.
Oh, I did that. It was dope. I had a great time.
Fantastic. Instead, I watched Hubie Halloween, and I felt very sad about myself.
You fucking dumbass. Jesus Christ. Just call me when you want to watch a movie. We'll do Tutoroo. It'll be chill.
Okay, fair enough. And we were also joined by Tegan Somerset. Tegan, how are you?
I'm here. I am here.
By here, you mean somewhere in the greater Ohio area. How are you doing?
I am here. I'm present and physically in a body.
All right.
Is it my body? I think so. We'll find out together.
Terrifying.
All right. Well.
I'm drinking water? I ate a salad? I don't know. It might not be my body.
Tegan doesn't eat salads historically.
Was there a large amount of candied walnuts in the salad?
Oh, absolutely not.
Wait, okay. In the salad, was it more than a bowl of leaves?
I mean, it was a bowl of leaves, but it was a different bowl. It was a bowl of mixed leaves this time.
I'm going to call that progress, but that's still...
There was arugula and romaine and spinach and, purple cabbage and, the leaves that are green but have the purple, middle stem. I don't know what those are. It was, leaves.
Okay.
But a lot of them. And there was not just vinegar on them.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Olive Garden house salad dressing.
Oh, no.
Because we bought that at the grocery store.
Well, you know what we call that?
Delicious.
Growth.
Ah, growth.
Well, thanks, Tegan. Your fucking salad got me to break kayfabe, so that's all right.
Yay! I won! I beat him with the salad!
So everyone, the former birthday boy is back. Mr. Brian Cartwright.
Yeah. Here to report, by the time you reach 41, your body will have betrayed you. Just letting you know.
Oh, jeez.
Aw. Can't wait. Looking forward to that in 10 years.
Yep, it's a good time.
Thanks.
Well, Brian, speaking of birthday failures, I have to let you know, Tegan and I were trying to put together a special birthday surprise for you that ultimately did not come together.
That is correct.
That's fantastic. I think back on this moment from my childhood where I insisted on making my mother breakfast in bed, and it was nothing but a disaster. I just brought her, tray after tray of just the most mistaken items that were only loosely supervised in production by my father.
Mm-hmm.
So, thanks, kids.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
But, okay, so here's the thing. This is what we did. Brian, we know you're a fan of Tiger King, right?
It's true.
Yes.
And you are enamored by the spectacle of Joe Exotic.
Yes.
And we also know that Joe Exotic is currently serving a sentence in a state prison, I believe.
Yes.
Yep.
So what we did is that we found a rare recording of Joe Exotic's music that included Hello Kitty Kitty.
Here, kitty kitty.
Here Kitty Kitty. Sorry,
Right.
Excuse me.
You're welcome.
Here Kitty Kitty. Bought it off of eBay. Secured that package and then sent it to Joe Exotic in prison because there was a standing offer that if you send something to Joe Exotic while he is incarcerated, he will sign it and send it back.
As long as you include return postage and an envelope.
Right. And so Tegan secured the package and sent it off to get it signed. Around that time, also, Joe Exotic was moved from an Oklahoman prison to a Texas one.
I sent it to the Texas prison. Because he was moved literally, like, the day before I was getting ready to send it. And I was like, okay, I'll just send it to the new prison. So as soon as they posted the address, I sent it to the Texas prison. And then I got a letter back that said, my package contained stuff that Joe couldn't have. Namely, literally the return envelope and postage that was required to get the thing back. So I don't know what they wanted from me. So then they said, okay, well, we have to send it to Joe's lawyer, and then his lawyer will get you the stuff. So they sent it over to the lawyer. I got a letter from the lawyer that said, hey, with my address spelled incorrectly, but USPS got it to my house. My address spelled incorrectly, and it said, hey, like, I got your package. I will get it to Joe. Also, can you write to President Trump and see if we can get a presidential pardon for Joe Exotic? And I was like, no, give him my fucking package. And now I've gotten 4 letters from Joe Exotic's lawyer asking me to write President Trump to see if I can get a presidential pardon for Joe Exotic, but no package with the autographed CD. We tried, Brian.
We did.
We were so excited. We sent this months ago. It was like, oh yeah, it's like a month and a half turnaround time. And I sent it like in July, and it's still not here. I'm mad.
I'm really touched. This sounds like a lot of work.
We tried.
I mean, it was a lot of waiting. It wasn't a ton of like physical labor, you know? I did do some online digging. I found the recording. I did do all the shipping and stuff. But, like, it's not here, so it doesn't matter! I'm mad!
But if it had shown up, I wouldn't have gotten this, like, amazing story, so...
Well, that's true. You would have gotten the story because you would have been like, thanks for the thing, guys, and we would have been like, oh, we're gonna tell you about it on the fucking show.
Man, this does kind of remind me, like, how long ago the beginning of quarantine feels.
Oh, yeah, you mean like decades ago?
Yeah.
Millennia? Like
at the beginning of quarantine when we were all playing a cute game about getting animal friends, and now everyone's playing a cute game about murdering people.
Okay, that reminds me. Are we going to Joe Biden's like Animal Crossing Island? Are we doing that?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do it.
I gotta get that code. I haven't played in a while, so maybe it'll be a good thing to check it out.
Yeah. Man, I feel a lot about Joe Biden's Animal Crossing Island about the same way I feel about Joe Biden in general. And
sure.
Yeah, it's fair.
Which is that it's just like, it's the Steve Buscemi with the fucking skateboard gif.
The Hajime Mashite fellow Neo-G.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like, come on. Come the fuck on, Joe. Like, one of the things I really enjoyed about Animal Talking, as hosted by Gary Whitta, was to like find out the sincere, real diversity of people who are actually dumping a shit ton of time into Animal Crossing. There's like,
for sure,
there's something like really like joyful about Danny Trejo, a man well into his 70s, being like, "Hey, let me give you a tour of my island." At which point it turns out he has like pockets full of butterflies just because he forgets to like get rid of them. You know, like. That's great. Yeah. That's great, you know?
Yo, did you listen to the single that, like, T-Pain put out?
Yep.
Like, where he's rapping in perspective of, like, Tom Nook?
Yep. And T-Pain is another perfect example. Like, T-Pain being, like, way into Animal Crossing. I'm into that. But, like, Joe Biden, it's like, Joe, okay, look, here's the thing.
It's definitely Pokemon Go to the polls all over again.
Oh, yeah. Joe... Let me tell you what you got going for you. You're not Count Dracula. You're not Count Dracula. And honestly, at this point, that's fine. That's enough.
You have a dog. You have a dog.
Wait, maybe Joe Biden's a werewolf. Like, at least, you know, in this metaphor.
So you just made Joe Biden better than Joe Biden. But, like...
I mean, I know.
And like, that's fine. You know, I want us to all remember, like, next June, when we're into, like, the very beginnings of getting the descriptions in the mail of like how the national vaccine distribution is going to work, And like,
Oh shit.
yeah, everybody fucking thinks like, okay, as soon as like Biden gets elected, we're just gonna like suddenly be released from quarantine. I'm like, nope, that's not how that fucking works.
Correct.
Yeah, like first we have to get the vaccine, then we have to ramp up the manufacturing capability nationwide, the creation and distribution of enough individual dosages for a whole goddamn country. And then lastly, we actually have to get the job done and get everybody stuck with a needle. When I hear people talk about like what the Super Bowl is going to be like next year or WrestleMania is going to be like next year, I'm like, guys, I got bad news. It's going to be like what it was this year. Like, we're going to be in this shit until next summer, late next summer. Just fucking get used.
That first con is gonna be fucking wild. I cannot wait to get so amazingly obliterated in some hot tub somewhere. Like, that's somewhere between, like, here and fucking Texas that I just, like, cannot record on Saturday because I'm still drunk from the fucking night before. I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Real talk here. Once we're past it and everybody's vaccinated, I tell you what, we're going to need to, like, distribute a whole bunch of fucking trifold brochures called, like, STIs and you. And...
Oh, man.
And tell people, like, just remind, like, just because you get to leave your house doesn't mean you have to give everybody this special hug, like.
Damn it, Brian.
Well,
I was just getting excited about going to the first Evo after quarantine.
Oh,
here we go.
Rocky, you don't have to give everybody Evo the special hug.
Relax. You know what I'm saying.
You don't have to give anyone at Evo the special hug.
You guys know what I'm saying.
I do. I'm just saying. Did y'all... Hey, guys, I didn't listen to the show. Fuck me. Fuck you. Fuck me. Fuck you.
Surprise!
Oh, no. I knew. It's okay.
All right.
Go on.
But did y'all tell the audience why I wasn't on last week? Like, because last week was not Brian's in crippling pain. It was Brian's going to watch all of the wrestling.
Yeah, we gave...
I believe we said that you wanted the weekend of your birthday off, and we were like, absolutely, you're allowed that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a wrestling promotion called Game Changer Wrestling, GC Dub, and they were supposed to run an event in April called The Collective, which was going to be a collection of 4 shows a day that was going to run across 3 days. And most of the shows were going to be presented by GCW, and some of the other shows were going to be presented by other wrestling promotions. It was going to be a whole thing. Now, naturally, WrestleMania weekend fell apart. Please see pandemic. So there's been this whole thing where, like, did anybody think that the Collective was ever going to happen? And so at some point, like, GCW was like, hey, we're doing the Collective in October in Indianapolis, of all fucking places. The city of Indianapolis got really, really excited about this.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they, like, presented fucking GCW a key to the city.
That's kind of dope. Good for them.
Yeah, and, like, declared last weekend, like, indie wrestling and indie day, that kind of thing. And I was like, all right, look, I'm like, if I were to pick out the 3 sloppiest, dirtiest, least hygienic fan bases in the world, they would be as follows: wrestling fans, video game fans, and anime nerds.
Yep.
Okay, I want to argue that not all of video games deserve that, but I do know that we are being dragged down by the Smash community.
Okay, and like, just like not every wrestling fan and not every anime fan is disgusting. But if you want to like look at that fucking like bottom 20% of cases,
Sure, yeah,
you're just like, Jesus fucking Christ. And like, these are people who you tell, wash your hands and cover your face or you might die. And they're just like, whatever, I do what I want. And they just like dig deeper into that bag of fucking Cheetos.
yeah.
And you're just like, all right, fine, whatever. Let God sort them. And so,
If he dies, he dies.
It is what it is.
snap it to a Slim Jim. So the Collective went down, and I was like really, really excited. And there were like some shows that I thought were like fantastic. There was a show the first night on Friday night called For the Culture, which was a wrestling show booked by AJ Gray with all black talent.
For sure.
And it was amazing because, like, you look at where black performers are in professional wrestling globally, and the answer is, like, nowhere near where they should be, because there's just like so many like absolutely just dynamic, magnetic main event level performers who should be, at the top of the card. But because like so much of professional wrestling culture in the United States is been kind of like corralled and shepherded by Vince McMahon, who believes that what wrestling fans are Republicans who are 50 years old or older, that the idea of putting like, charismatic, dynamic black people on the television is going to be bad, has kind of like held back black performers in wrestling. And so this show, which is just like, check out these incredible performers, check out these amazing matches, like there's just so many people putting on matches that are like absolutely fucking just the best shit you've ever seen. Like Lee Moriarty is a fucking god, a goddamn god. Like there are things that he can do with joint submissions that just like terrify me a week later. Like that guy is a madman, fucking madman. Trish Adora should be like booked on like every show. She's amazing. So a really, really good show. The following morning was Effie's Big Gay Brunch, and that was also a fantastic show. There was a gauntlet where there was a wrestler named Pero, who I especially enjoy. Pero is a large, massive bear, and the match was a twink gauntlet. They kept on sending out twinks to attempt to defeat Pero, and
to get obliterated though.
Yes, right. And Pero is like, this is the best. This was my belated bachelor party. Like, just so much good wrestling. Cassandro Exotico, like, who's a legend, like one of the best Exoticos in the history of wrestling, fought Sonny Kiss, and it was just fantastic. And just truly a celebration of like LGBT performers and non-binary performers in the wrestling space, and just like super happy. I thought it was a great thing. Saturday night was Joey Janela's spring break, because generally the collective happens in spring. It's like, we don't change the name. It's still Joey Janela's spring break. And that featured the last match for GCW by Matt Tremont, who is a legend and a god of the deathmatch scene. And like Matt Tremont has been having like kind of like a hard time emotionally since his best friend passed away earlier this year, which is what has caused Matt Tremont to decide to retire from wrestling. He's still going to keep on teaching, and he's still going to keep on like running his own wrestling promotion called Hardcore Hustle, but it just takes too much out of him to wrestle anymore. And so there's this like moment during the match where like Matt Tremont is like torn off his own shirt, and it's like blood like just gushing down his fucking forehead, like giant wound in his chest. And the guy he's fighting, Alex Colon, who is just like probably one of the top 5 technical wrestlers in the world, who just happens to be a deathmatch specialist, is like hitting with this large fan made of light tubes, and like Tremont is just screaming at him, "Put me out of my misery!" And it's just it's this like beautiful epic saga. They told this great story. I got in touch with Tremont a couple days after the match and was like, you're a legend, and I would like to purchase your gear from your final match, so that way I can frame and display it. And he's like, that sounds cool, and I appreciate it. He's like, I've never sold gear before. Just tell me whatever you think is fair, that'll be fine. I'm like, God damn. Just like great match after great match. Totally amazing shows. Kind of like the thing that I had needed from wrestling since March, but like that wrestling has really been unable to provide. And I should add, wrestling really still isn't able to provide, because like even though they were running in a 2,000 seat venue and they only seated 500 people. Okay, so again, this gives you an idea of the scale of the place and how few people were in the place. So 2,000 seat arena with 500 people seated. Like you could just like look at the frame, and in any given frame, you could see like massive, comedically oversized hand sanitizer dispensers. The audience is entirely masked, and Still, coming out of the collective, we managed to have at least 4 COVID tests from performers. There was apparently, on the nights after the shows were over, some wrestlers were doing shit like throwing parties in their hotel rooms, which meant that, like, GCW and the other promotions could be as careful as they wanted during the day at the show. But if people were just going to go back to their fucking room and throw, like, hotel parties, then it didn't matter. It just didn't fucking matter, because, like, nobody's taking quarantine seriously. Which has meant now that, like, wrestling has become this, like, very, like, angry, finger-pointy place on Twitter, where people are like, well, it's your fault people are sick. No, it's your fault people are sick. Like, like, the event should never have happened. And, like, I'm just like, I don't even fucking know. I feel like there would not be as many people who had gotten sick at the collective if they had just, like, gone to the shows the way the shows were booked, and then, you know, gone back to their hotel rooms and eaten room service. But are we in such a place as a society that we can't trust people to prioritize their own health and the health of people around them? And so, like, therefore, we can't even have an event like this where there were abundant precautions taken.
Yeah, that sounds right, actually. Unfortunately, you know, ideally everyone would just, like, watch the streaming show and, like, pay their buy-in and buy merch.
Right.
Because, you know, given the times.
Right.
But, you know, they ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
They're, like, they're gonna demand that the show's free if they're not there. And, like, they're gonna talk shit about it if they didn't watch the show anyways. And, like, that doesn't help the wrestlers. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be helping the wrestlers.
Right. And that's one of those things is, like, there are some people who, you know, going into the pandemic were wrestling full time and didn't have any kind of fucking, like, day job or straight job. And so it's like all of a sudden their income is crumbling. You know, like the same thing that were happening to, like, a lot of creative types, like, you know, like writers or illustrators, you know, artists. And it's like, whoops, now all the money is gone. And it's like, if people are willing to play by the rules, we can help preserve the income for all of these people and get the things that we love. But you have to act like fucking children. There's no reason you need to sit in a crowded hotel room with 9 people you barely know chugging fucking White Claws. Just none. None at all. Like, wait until the vaccine for the special hugs. Fuck.
Well, that's what they should be doing. They shouldn't be fucking Brian.
Yeah, the opposite of that. We want the opposite of that. No special hugs.
No special. All right. Note to self. Name of this episode is No Special Hugs.
Oh, fuck. Now I actually have to write it down? Okay, here we go. Never mind. Teek's got it, actually.
All right.
Yeah, I got it. We're good. I'm just gonna highlight it purple. Like, people who see the show doc know that we highlight the one we actually choose in purple, and then all the other ones get, like, fun middle highlights. That way other people know what we were considering.
Yeah.
Right.
God.
But there, I just did it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So, like, people, wash your fucking hands, cover your fucking face, you know, change your clothes on the reg like a normal person. Stay
man. Actually, I love wearing masks in public in general, like, so much. Like, I go out places now, and then, like, I realize, like, damn, I was letting y'all see my face for free? Are y'all serious?
Right? Garbage.
Yeah.
All right.
Couldn't be me.
Shout out to friend of the show, Lauren Moran. If y'all follow her on Twitter, you will know that she is the mask fashion plate. When it comes to, like, integrating a mask into, like, an outfit for the daily life, like, Lauren Moran is a fucking queen. There was, like, a day when she, like, debuted a mask which just had, like, 2 very, like, subtle, understated vampire fangs on them. And it's like, I'm like, yep, here we go. It's kind of like the thing, why weren't we all wearing masks before? You know?
Right. Man, I feel dumb for not wearing masks for, like, the past, like, 10 years.
I have been wearing masks. I have been wearing masks literally since 2012. Literally since 2012, whenever I am sick. You gotta get on my level.
Clearly,
I'm telling
Tegan's a fashion
you.
icon.
I'm telling you.
Man.
Get yourself some nice ones. Get yourself some comfy ones. Get yourself some that look good. Don't get any of those fucking sheer ones, though. That's bullshit.
I'm still mad at people who, like, wear, like, mesh masks. Like, I want to
That's not a mask!
Right.
Don't do it!
Also, people out there who are getting the masks which have the exhale valves. That is...
Oh, don't do that either!
Like...
That's dumb!
The thing is
It's so dumb.
exhale valve masks have a place, and that place is I'm painting. I'm in this house, and I'm painting, where the only concern is inhalation, because I know that I can inhale a toxin, but I'm not going to exhale a toxin. But again, we don't live in that world anymore, everyone. We're not painting a fucking house. We are not painting a fucking house. Note to self. Name of the show may be We're Not Painting a Fucking House.
No, we already decided it's no special hugs.
All right, no,
we're not painting a fucking house. We'll be on the list.
Oh, God. But seriously, like...
I mean, I'm painting my fucking house, but, like, you know, that's me.
Right.
In my own time.
Right. But if you go down to the fucking Piggly Wiggly and your painting mask, and you're like, hey, guys, see how easy it is for me to... Like, yep. Good job, Super Spreader, you dipshit. God. Son of a bitch must pay. Fuck. I'm trying to figure out, is there something I can... Is there anything COVID related in the banter? Or do we just max COVID? COVID.
You have a thing that's COVID, but like I think.
Yeah, I think that's COVID.
What's COVID?
I mean, I think that's it.
But like, yeah.
Wine. I mean, I wasn't making wine before this.
Mm-hmm.
This week's wine update. I've made 2 new wines. I made a strawberry lemon wine with coconut.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yep. Bold, tasty.
How do I get on that?
It's all about Bruisey. Just go to fucking Bruisey and you just like get the pack and you just get in there. It's fun. One of the things I like about it is like, let's say you fuck up. You know, it does not take you long to like. There's so many things that you can do in this world where like the hobby takes a while, and it takes you a long time to know if you fucked it up. Like if people are like, I'm gonna get into gardening or something like that, like. It takes you a while to know that you fucked something up. And you're like, well, shit. Because, like, the reset time is a long time. With this Bruisey stuff, I am realistically fermenting for 3 to 5 days and then cold crashing for 2 and then, like, racking. So, like, it's really, like, 5 to 7 days before I'm drinking the wine that I made. Which is nice. You know? With their, like, weird-ass genetically engineered yeast, which is designed to, like, eat sugar super fast. So, like, this strawberry lemon coconut wine, very, very tasty. I made another wine, which was a lime coconut peanut.
You shook it all up?
Yes. And a little chili. And I went with, like, a peanut sauce, which had the chili in it. So the problem is that, like, the yeast did what I anticipated to do, which is eat the peanut because there's so much sugar in, like, peanut sauce. But that meant that it, like, left the constituent chili ingredients from the peanut sauce, which meant that I had chili oil separate and then rise to the top of my fucking wine. And, like, that was a hassle dealing with. So I think that the way I want to do that next time is just to use straight peanut butter and then add chili powder once it's done fermenting. So that way I'm just letting it cold crash with chili powder in the bottle. And then when I rack it, I'll remove the powder, which will give me what I want, which is like spicy Thai tasting wine. So that's been fun. I continue to enjoy that. It's like a silly, comparatively cheap hobby. It was like $40 to get the kit that had like the 3 bottle stoppers and like 3 like starter packs of the yeast. And like those 3 starter packs of the yeast can like get you up to something like 12 bottles of wine. So get it. It's a good time. The boys wrapped up for the season. And there was a moment in the season finale of The Boys, which did something which Marvel tried to do in the film Avengers Endgame, and they did it significantly better than Marvel did. Do you guys remember in Avengers Endgame where they do this like really showy, over-the-top, dumb camera pan where they're just like, please check out all of these female characters. They're like, yeah! Like,
right.
Yeah, they're like, check out these ladies with power! And you're just like, uh-huh. And it just kind of like falls apart because there really wasn't any kind of thinking behind it. And it's just like this, like so much of like what happens in Marvel films is like half-baked, ill-considered, underdeveloped bullshit. And that's exactly how it felt. But in the season finale of The Boys, there's a moment where 3 women with superpowers who all have remarkably different personal agendas come together to beat the shit out of a Nazi.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yes, it's great. It's great. These 3 characters couldn't have like further perspectives from each other, as far as like why they're doing it or why they're there, but they're just like, and now we are going to fucking just murder this Nazi. And it is so good. It's so good. So like, strong reco. Like, Boys season 2 is more of what I want from The Boys, which is like critical deconstruction of the modern superhero film culture and the communities it takes for granted and the way it treats different people. Like, there's a character in The Boys called Queen Maeve, and a character called Homelander finds out that Maeve is in a relationship with another woman, and so when her employer, like the evil mega corporation of the show, finds out that Maeve is in a relationship with a woman, they start trying to like market her as a lesbian. They're like, yeah, like, you're brave Maeve. And she's like, I'm bi. They're like, yeah, it's harder to market that. Like, it's not as easy for people to understand that. You're brave Maeve, the lesbian. It's like, oh, yeah. Just kind of like some guy with a pie chart is just figuring out how we can like compartmentalize people. And so kind of like dealing with that as like a thematic element. Really enjoyed it. Good show. Good season. Impossible Coin, the video game podcast, recommends this TV show. And there was something I saw tweeted recently, and I can't remember who tweeted it, but it was a thread about the opening 10 minutes of Scream 2.
That was me.
Okay, that was you?
Yep.
Yeah, and I have a great deal of passion for that series, and I had recently rewatched Scream 3 and Scream 4, and like, I was kind of like working my way back through the series, and so when you tweeted that, Rocky, I was like, oh, it's fucking time to get in there. It really reminded me just how well Scream 2 ages. Like, there is nothing about Scream 2 that does not age well. Unless somebody has like watched it recently or is familiar with the film, like, hey y'all, Tim Oliphant is in that movie and he is at maximum power. There is maximum Tim Oliphant in that film. And the movie does this like really, really excellent job of being a steward of the assumptions that people have made about the history of slasher films, while at the same time simultaneously subverting them. The film opens with like these 2 black characters going to the movies who are, surprise, ultimately killed in like a 10-minute sequence, which is reminiscent of the Barrymore sequence from the first film.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Scream 2 also has another one of the film's characters, a black man, survive and show up in the very last scene, like, which is Gale Weathers' cameraman throughout the film. He like walks off and leaves Gale about 2/3 of the way into the film because he's like, y'all are gonna get yourselves killed and this is fucking stupid. And so he just leaves 2/3 of the way into the movie. But he returns for the final scene, and it kind of feels like Kevin Williamson is thumbing his nose at the old gods and the expectations of like the slasher genre, the idea that people that you were not allowed to have survive that late into a film, or when like there's a scene where we see like the killer brutally attack Dewey. We're supposed to assume that means that Dewey is now dead. Dewey is dead, but like, so at the end of the film, when we see like people like hauling Dewey out on a stretcher, and he's like definitely in worse shape. He's definitely gotten fucked up, but Dewey is going to live. Like these all are like some versions of the way these films are structured, and it feels like I'm going to be cautious here because I'm about to issue a hot take. I think Scream 2 may be better than Scream 1.
I think Scream 2 is better than Scream 1. But I'm biased, so.
I don't watch horror movies, so I don't have an opinion.
We've got to find baby's first horror movies.
Baby's first horror movies, and I've said this on the show, was The Grudge, which I was tricked into watching because my friend said, Tegan, you'll like it. It's set in Japan. Tegan doesn't need any more horror movies.
I don't think that's the way you onboard someone to a genre.
Yeah, I don't think The Grudge is a baby's first horror movie.
Yeah.
I think you definitely got tricked by your friends.
It wasn't nice.
And no, I absolutely understand that. I
Yeah.
think there are better entry points to the genre.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, probably, but, like, I'm good.
Fair enough.
Taco's good out here.
I'd also forgotten just, like, absolutely how chock full of humans Scream 2 was. Just like you're sitting there hanging out in this movie, and you're like, oh, Portia de Rossi's in this?
True.
Yeah. Like, Rebecca Gayhart's in this? Like,
That's always fun to do, actually.
yeah. It is a movie replete with talent. It's also amusing because there are moments in the film which are, like, celebrating the advancement of consumer technology and the ubiquitousness of it, and the technology that they're like talking about is now in and of itself like also antique. When somebody calls Sidney Prescott, it's like, hey Sidney, what's your favorite scary movie? And she's like, who is this? And he's like, who do you think it is? We see her reach to her bedside table and pick up a separate physical caller ID box and, like, read him his name and phone number back to him. You're like, lol, remember when those existed? Separate physical caller ID boxes? But, like, that was...
That was some bougie, useless bullshit, man.
Yeah, and just like, Jesus Christ, like, this movie was, like, kind of, like, calling out the advancement of technology, and this advancement of technology is in itself now a relic. It's a good time. Like, I recommend... get in there, fuck with it. The first 10 minutes are absolutely spellbinding. The sequence where Sydney is on stage doing a rehearsal for the school play with David Warner as the director of the school play, and all of a sudden they stop using music by Marco Beltrami and they start using music by Danny Elfman. Like, the whole way that sequence is shot is just amazing. So that the Cassandra sequence... And then, like, just the final part of the end where, like, Timothy Olyphant, like, gives the speech as the killer is just amazing. Just bell to bell. Scream 2. Good times.
Brian, you gotta remember we're a podcast about video games.
That's true. So are you trying to say, like, Brian, are you going to talk about video games at all, or are you just going to get fucked?
Well, I mean, am I getting fucked? I hope I'm not. Like, that's not what I planned on this afternoon.
No special hugs!
We can rebook at a later time if that's what you really want to do, though, Brian.
So, I ordered myself a birthday present.
Okay.
I was like, I'm going to treat myself.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Because there was a device that came out last year called the RG350. It got very good reviews. And it was a device that runs a Linux distribution. And
come on, Brian. Time is money. Money is power. Power is pizza.
And it was a thing that did a thing, and I bought it, the one that came later. Who else got stuff?
Okay, what does it do?
It's a handheld video game console that emulates things now effectively up to Dreamcast.
Okay.
Wait, you can do a handheld Dreamcast now?
Yes.
That's pretty sick.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's running everything through RetroArch. So because it's running everything through RetroArch, you can assign different emulators to run different consoles. Mm-hmm. And then you can, like, tag different emulators to different individual games. And
so you're going to actually engage with the Chow Garden?
I think there's a good chance we're going to engage with the Chow Garden.
Ooh.
I want to see Brian's chows. I want to see what he does.
Other stuff that this thing has is that the RG351P, there were like two different iterations of it. There was one which came out was $110, which has like built-in Wi-Fi, and because it has built-in Wi-Fi, it can sync with retro achievements, which means you can you can have achievements for your fucking SNES games. And then there's the one which is $100, which doesn't have the built-in Wi-Fi, and so I was able to get the one which is $110, so I can use retro achievements for the thing, and I can also move ROMs to the SD card wirelessly, which also seems helpful. It also has low-profile clickable sticks, which are hard as hell to find, because generally, like, devices are like, okay, here's our awkwardly placed L3 and R3 buttons, because the sticks don't click. So for the very few PS1 games that use stick clicking, I'll actually be able to click the sticks.
For sure. Also,
the device has built-in rumble, which will be impactful for a small number of PS1 and N64 games. So, like, I can tell it when I'm playing Ocarina of Time that I have the rumble pack inserted. So, yeah, I'm super stoked. Nice, bright, colorful IPS screen. Good D-pad on it. Lots of reviews. And it came in 3 colors, black, white, and purple. And the purple looks like the launch GBA purple.
Yep, that's a move.
That's the best color. That's the best color.
Yep. So, like, very excited about it. Like, the company that makes these things, Anbernick, kind of have, like, a reputation like GPD, which is, like, really, really doing good work on the hardware. And the thing does not in any way feel like a throwaway piece of shit. And I have been sitting here watching my tracking for the thing for the last few days. And so it looks like around the time we're done recording, it'll be in my mailbox. So I cannot wait to sink my teeth into the thing. Weirdly enough, despite all the things I will be able to do with it, the one thing I don't want to do with it, even though I could, is play GBA games. Because I have a very large collection of original GBA cartridges. So I don't know whether to just, like, wait until Analog's console comes out and fight for one of the secondary market, or hope that they release more that I'm able to get in on, or what. Like,
oh, you're going to have to fight over the Analog Pocket. Like, that is clearly the correct answer.
Especially with the fucking news that came out this week about Analog's next release.
Oh, the Analog TurboGrafx or whatever?
Yes. And that, like, one of the things that they announced is, like, yeah, we also, by the way, we're making a HuCard adapter for the Analog Pocket, so that way it'll turn your Analog Pocket into a Turbo Express. And I'm like, fuck.
Oh, fun fact. I didn't know how much people actually care about, like, TurboGrafx. Because, that wasn't my time. I wasn't there for that. But, like, people really give a shit about these games, and I had no idea.
There were so many good games for that console. Like, it was... I remember being, like, very much being a person of that generation. People would be like, yeah, man, I'm a Nintendo kid or I'm a Sega kid. And then there would always be that guy who's like, hey, guys, I have a TurboGrafx and it's a lot of fun. And people would tell that kid to get fucked. And
yeah, it sounds like me. That sounds like me. I'd tell that kid to get fucked.
Why would you do that, Tegan?
Special hug someone else, man.
Jesus. But NEC had, like, a really good first-party library. A lot of the stuff they got released for the various NEC consoles were really, really good. The third-party support for them was fantastic. One of my absolute favorite versions of Street Fighter 2 is the TurboGrafx version. Yeah, like, if you go and you look at, like, the color palette on it, it's, like, really beautiful. And the audio on that version is just, like, top-notch. So, like, yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. You know what? Let me qualify that statement. I'm here for it if they'll let me be.
Well, I mean, like, all you got to do is win. That's the whole thing. If you win, you get the thing.
I read a really interesting piece on Vice this week by Petra Klepek, talking about how we're in a different place with pre-orders than we were when the Super NT was released by Analog, or even when the PS4 or Xbox One launched in 2013, and that the main difference in the marketplace has been the absolute refinement of sneaker bots. The bots that are normally being used to, like, snap up Jordans are now being repurposed to, like, snap up fucking analog pockets and
Brian,
PS5s.
they won the fucking NVIDIA thing. 90% of the NVIDIA cards went to fucking bots, Brian. Clearly they figured something out.
Yes. And the bots are a lot better. And the thing is that Nike on one hand is fighting this constant battle against bots because Nike's got pushing drops every 3 to 4 weeks that they know are going to have interest from bots. And with stuff like NVIDIA cards or the analog pocket or the PS5, these are really the only drops from these particular manufacturers in some time that have had any interest from the scalping community. And so they're entirely unprepared and don't even see the benefit in being ready for the next assault, because how long will it be until the next assault? Oh, well, all right, fine, fuck it. If it takes us another 6 years to put out a box that plays video games, then do we really need to put in the work now to defeat these people then?
Yeah, I get that.
I would say that the only one who I think owes it to their marketplace to address this situation sooner than later is Analog, because Analog generally has 2 to 3 major drops a year, and they're gonna full on push out people who have been supporting them from the beginning, like my fucking self. Just come on, come the fuck on. I would like to buy an analog pocket. I guess that's where I'm at, guys. Should I fight the fight? Should I get an analog pocket, or should I look for an? Okay,
Brian, if you're given the choice between playing something you like or just waiting it out, I'm going to suggest that you go and play the thing that you like. That just makes sense.
Yep, that's true.
Well, I mean, the thing is there are other solutions for playing GBA games off of original cartridges. I was considering getting a modded GBA, which has a replacement screen and has a rechargeable battery mod. That was one thought. The advantage of the analog pocket is obviously being able to use original cartridges for things other than the GBA. The place where I have a really good library is my GBA library.
Well, Brian, I'm glad you have a plan B. It's very good to prepare for contingencies, but go for what you want, man. Go for the pocket. Figure it out.
Thanks, Dad.
Oh, man. Speaking of dads, I've been playing a lot of Hades, a game from the 21st century, and I've been having...
That is a good fucking game, by the way.
Yeah, man.
Hot damn.
Hey, how does it feel to be this generation's Percy Jackson kid? Tell me how it feels. Tell me how it feels, because, the Lore Olympus kids are already, they're growing up on TikTok. They're, over it now. How's it feel? How's it feel?
I mean, it feels good. I get to grab these old weapons and beat up shit. And there was, it's standard roguelike stuff where you jump in and you're just oh fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh fuck, I don't have anything. And I'm getting to a point where I have access to everything I need. And, I'm on my way to having access to just straight up everything. And I really like a lot of the choices that they did with the game. It's fully voiced, which is fucking great because all the voices really pull you in. Hades is the epitome of the bad dad, which is amazing.
Yes, we know this.
I really like the incremental storytelling, how you get bits and pieces of stuff. It's sufficiently awkward where you get out of Tartarus after beating down Meg or Megara or one of the other Furies, and then having to come back home because you got slain, and then Meg's just in the lounge, she's just fucking standing there.
She's hi, excuse me, and you're just bye.
Oh, no, it's better than that, Tegan. She just unabashedly hates you. And, Zagreus just tries to play it cool. He's trying to, be, cordial or whatever, and she's just please leave. It's hey, I live here. You're supposed to be here, too. We just gotta get used to each other. And she's just ugh. And she, scoffs off or whatever. She'll stop.
She's get the fuck out. And you're yes, ma'am.
She'll, stop talking to people. If you walk in the room, it's a whole shit.
That's fucking great. I love it.
And,
10 out of 10.
Nyx is, your adoptive mother that's, supporting you at all times. Achilles, works for Hades, but he also wants you to succeed. And so, he quietly supports you whenever he can. I've gotten to Thanatos, or Than, who I think Zagreus had a thing with. I'll get there when I get there. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I've been, kicking it with some of the deities, and all the deities are just so pissy and so petty at all times, except for maybe Aphrodite. Like, I actually really like Aphrodite, and not because she's just hot. Like, it's like, there are, like, instances where you end up in a zone, like when you're trying to escape the underworld, and there will be 2 boons, so you'll get, like, 2 blessings from 2 different gods, and you'll get both. But the thing is, like, you have to pick one, and then you have to fight enemies with, like, buffs and, like, AoE attacks from the other.
Ooh, okay.
Whenever you pick one, the other one's, like, super mad at you. Like, he's just like, can't believe you disrespected me like this. Well, we'll see how you like this. And then, like, they fucking attack you the whole time. You beat all the enemies. And it's like, oh, hey. So, I mean, good job out there. Honestly, let's just put the whole thing behind us. And then they give you the blessing anyways. And, like, that doesn't go away. I'm not happy about that. Like, I feel emotionally, like, compromised whenever this stuff goes on. But the game is great. I've gotten into, like, a rhythm. I know the type of boons I want to take. And, like, when you gift, like, nectar or ambrosia to, like, gods or whatever, they give you a trinket that you can use to either prioritize one of their boons or, like, some other such benefit. And that's been really cool. There's a couple of them that I'm not confident enough to use yet. Like, there's one where, like, if you don't take damage in an encounter, you get, like, a flat 1% damage buff on everything. And so, like, I'm not good enough for that yet. But, like, there are, say, like, 40 encounters on a run. So, like, you can essentially get, like, a 40% damage buff if you just don't take damage at all. And, like, I'm not there yet. But if I ever get there, like, I'm going to be nuts. I'm going to be fucking bananas. No one's going to be able to tell me shit. But it took me 28 runs to get my first clear. It's, like, it's a little longer than usual. And then I took on the Demeter Fist, and I got 3 clears in a row. And I shaved 10 minutes off my runtime, so, like, that's great. I really like the kind of drama that's, like, played out, like, in between runs. Like, there's the bard of Hades' court, Orpheus, and he's separated from his love, Eurydice, who's in Asphodel, I think. And so, like, if you go see Eurydice in Asphodel, she gives you pretty good buffs, but also, like, I tend to go see her because I get story bits that I get to take back to Orpheus, and I'm trying to, like, bring them back together. But, like, Orpheus is serving on Hades' court, so he can't leave. And, like, you know, Eurydice's dead, and she's sentenced to, like, Asphodel. And so, as far as I know, she can't leave there either. So I'm kind of just passing notes between them on runs. That's nice.
I bet Aphrodite digs that.
Oh, I hope so, honestly. Also, the gods, they have, you know, tenuous, like, relationships with each other. I just got a bit of dialogue where, like, Ares says that, like, Aphrodite might be the strongest god ever. Because, like, she controls love and, like, you know, war and anything that makes people do things. And I'm like, Ares got a kind of point. And, like, if Ares believes in Aphrodite, like, that's kind of lit. So, like, I run, like, both of their buffs because those are actually the most synergistic to my build currently. Plus, it has, like, you know, lore. I'm excited. And so, like, I'm excited to go to, like, where endgame is. I don't know if I'm going to get to speedruns, but I want to. Because, like, I've definitely maxed out one of my weapons that I really like that is pretty advantageous to speedruns, but, like, speedruns are, like, 7 minutes. Like, I've seen, like, 7:12 with, like, the fist that I'm doing, and I watched the video, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's insane. And, like, it's not easy, but it's really cool, and I fuck with it. I'm having a great time.
I think that, for me, the reason I have for years been pushed away by roguelikes and roguelites is that it's very easy for a developer to drop you into that 2nd, 5th, 10th run and not have anything from the 1st, 4th, or 9th run feel like it matters.
Mm-hmm.
That it's really just like, start over, fuck you, start over, fuck you. And that is not at all the case here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You still feel like, even when you die and you know that, like, this run isn't the clear, that it was meaningful, that it's positively, you know, hooking into your overall play experience. Like, I do not know what kind of fucking wizards they are over there, but, like, they are serious wizards at Supergiant.
Oh, Supergiant, we're going to talk about it. It's on the dock.
We are. It turns out, mostly they're happy wizards.
It's true. And they work hard to do it. They work hard to stay happy.
Yeah. Work hard, play hard. Or something.
True.
Wow.
Teagues, you want to talk about a recent ended friendship?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about a recent ended friendship. Gadda! I know you're listening. You said you were listening last time. You're listening now, I'm sure. Friendship added with Gadda. Also, I'm friends with Gadda still. Before you panic. So, Rocky and I played Among Us on my friend Gadda's stream literally yesterday. And let me tell you what, Gadda is a trash imposter friend. He's bad at it. So the first time I got to be imposter, I was like, oh yeah! 8 rounds in or whatever. Because the Halo, I swear to God, the Halo keeps you from being imposter in like a big enough group. It's great. But the first time I got to be imposter, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. Gadda immediately messes up and gets himself voted out. And so he's like, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit here in the cafeteria as a ghost and talk to stream and shut doors randomly. Only shut doors randomly, and it'll be fine. Gadda locked me in storage 4 times. There is no vent in storage, so when you're stuck in storage as the imposter, you're just stuck in storage and you can't do anything. You just keep running around storage going, stop shutting these doors! Can't sabotage anything because the doors are shut, and the doors shut trigger the cooldown for the things, and you can't open them. You can't do anything until the doors open again. It's so frustrating. And I know that's specifically so that they can't lock everyone in a room and then sabotage something that's time sensitive, and it's a good gameplay mechanic that you can't do the both at the same time. But when your imposter friend is not paying attention to where you are or what you're doing, and they're just hanging out in the cafeteria, shutting things randomly, hoping it helps, like everybody won on tasks, and I was super mad about it.
Oh, man.
And I was just like, Gadda! Why? Like, Brian, remember when we were having Game of the Year conversation, and What Remains of Edith Finch was up for Best Story, and you voted out first round, and I got really pissed?
Yep.
It was that.
Wow.
On stream. I was so angry.
Really
I was
bad.
so angry. And then the next round, I was back to being crewmate, and it was fine, and it was me, and it ended up being me and Gadda and one other person. And I was like, Gadda, they're the imposter. And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, Gadda, you have an opportunity here to redeem yourself. I know it's them. And he voted me out again. And then I was even madder! And then I got mad and I'm like, not only are you a bad imposter, you're a bad crewmate!
I want it on the record that I was a pretty good imposter.
You were a very good imposter, except the first time when we were like, Rocky, are you the imposter? And you were like, no?
I was like, no. Yeah. Like, I was trying to play it off.
No,
like,
your voice cracked. It was super funny.
I was trying to be like nonchalant. Like, why would you ask me that? Like, that was the idea.
Yeah, and then it was just like, no, he's lying. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna let that slide.
And then I won. 'Cause
You did win. But the last game of the night, Gadda and I were imposters again, and I was pissed. And literally the first thing, we barely did anything. I think he killed one person, and someone saw him and was like, Gadda, you're the imposter. Why'd you kill that person? And he was just like, you know what? I've been drinking. And I'm like, oh no! I was pissed. And then I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be so bad. He's just gonna be closing random doors again. And instead, he listened and decided instead to follow me around, haunt me as a ghost, and shut doors that were convenient for me to kill people behind instead. And that time we won. But I was so mad. God, I was so mad. I tweeted about it. I'm still mad about it. But not as mad, so it's fine.
I guess this feels like a good time to say thank you for becoming a patron to our show, Gadda.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing, Gadda. What the heck?
Gadda.
Yeah.
Rude.
Thank you for joining our orange food tier.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's the one that feeds me Cheetos.
Yep.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna order some Cheetos. I'm not gonna order them. What am I talking about? I'm just gonna eat them.
And, a continued shout out and thank you to Oscar Garcia, who's been supporting us since May.
Yeah, he's our friend.
I believe Christopher Mercurio.
Oh, yeah. Wifologist Sig. The premier wifologist.
Who's been supporting us for just about a year. At the Festival Hardbody tier.
Yeah.
And Joe Spiro, who does his own thing.
True.
Thank you, sir. And of course, our friend, our kid brother, our spiritual son, Big Sach.
Big Sach.
I continue to be astounded by the fact that, like, Big Sach has legitimately contributed to this show in a meaningful way. He said it in the show several times, and the fucking music is from him. It's like, hey guys, here's some money. And like, thank you, Sach. And all of you wonderful people, thank you for making this show easier to do. We put up such long episodes that the show legitimately does have shitty hosting fees. Thank you for eating those shitty hosting fees. So, my heart to you, and with negotiation, maybe after the pandemic, you can have my special hug.
Oh, God.
Only if you're legal. Only if you're legal.
What? He's our kid brother, but he's definitely an adult.
Well, yeah, but also, like, we might get some more patrons. You never know.
Fair enough.
You never know. Children may eventually listen to the show.
Oh, God. I don't want that.
You gotta be ready. You gotta be prepared for that.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Uh,
I don't want to be prepared for that. Whatever, I'll be prepared. I'll figure it out.
You gotta be.
Figure it out.
Fuck, shit, biscuit, fuck, shit. No, this is not an 18 and under show. This is 18 and...
I mean, to be fair, like, they do literally swear on the Mabim Bam show, and, like, they also acknowledge that, like, children listen to that show. So, you know.
Mm.
You never know what parents of kids are listening to.
Yeah, true. T, so how much money did the Genshin Impact make?
Oh.
That's ominous.
Okay, so Genshin Impact, you know, that gacha game that I've been playing, it's still really fun! And I just unlocked co-op, but none of my friends have been playing at the same time as me, so I haven't been able to co-op with anybody yet, and I still haven't done any extra pulls, even though I have a bunch of pulls just sitting there. I'm waiting for another event, because I've played gacha games, I know how it goes. So it had a budget. Turns out there was a budget for this game. Who knew they had budgets? The budget was like around like way too much money. Like literally way too much money. It was like $100 million or something.
Mm-hmm.
Something like way too much money for a gacha game, right? And it has made over $110 million in 12 days. 12 days! It made over $110 million. That's bullshit. That's the power of waifus! That is waifu power! And husbandos. There are husbandos in there also. Like, we gotta harness that power. How do we what's the impossible coin gacha game? What is it? What is it? How do we get in on that market? Is it all characters from different impossible coin games, but like with special characters being like the hosts of the show? Is that it? Are we in the gacha game?
It's like Game Show Super Smash Bros. I think I'd play that.
Do we have, like, special dialogue and shit?
I hope so.
So I'm assuming that we would have every made-up character that has been invoked on the show. Yeah, environments and characters that have been associated with made-up games on the show. Which means that we get to have the whole of George Washington's cabinet.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yep.
Because of Hamilbang. Damn, okay.
Right.
So we're definitely, the United States is coming for us.
And I think that we probably have a few characters who are very obviously characters from Clay Fighter show up. And I think that they probably do a kissing with people who are in George Washington's cabinet. Characters that are very obviously people that we talk about on the show all the time, but just not quite legally identifiable.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
I think that if we have a character in this game that's just called Cool Dad, like, it's like, oh.
It's Brian's model, but with sunglasses. That's Cool Dad.
Wait, who's what?
The Cool Dad model is just you, but in sunglasses.
That is not what it is.
Yeah, it is. You're a podcast dad.
Well, I think Brian's like referencing like Phil Spencer, but like
Right.
we'll have podcast
yes.
dad be a character and Cool Dad a different one.
I forgot about that. Okay, podcast dad is different than cool dad. I see.
Right. And then, of course, like your epic pulls, your legendary pulls, the hardest things to get are the 4 legitimate hosts of the show.
I noticed that you said 4. I reject that.
Well, are you saying 4 because like Big Sach is included because he does the music, so he's technically here every
He's
show?
not. I know he isn't.
He is. Yeah, but he is. You mean Festival Hardbody?
I do.
Festival Hardbody has holographic shorts though. Like he's Gadda. That's his standard is him in the holographic shorts, and I do not mean that they are like see-through, Brian. I mean they are rainbow metallic.
We've had this conversation before. I remember.
Okay.
Yep.
I just wanted to restate it for the record,
The record, so shall reflect.
but also he's not real.
Jesus. I think if we had like I think it would be like less like Smash. And what's that thing called, Rocky? Like Mugen or
It's called Mugen.
thing where people just stand there and like bet on the outcome of matches as the matches happen automatically. I think we get a couple like nice backgrounds made.
Mm-hmm.
Some stages. Okay, here's Rocky's yard in Animal Crossing versus Tegan's yard in Animal Crossing, or here's a level made out of Brian's cemetery in Animal Crossing. Like, just I think that part of the fun of our wildly unlicensed game is the goofy stages that we create. So whatever we're doing, you know, I want goofy stages. I'd also request as much Martin Short as we can handle.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. In order for this to be waifu power, like we are gonna have to be anime characters. I hope you're okay with that, Brian. Thus is the power of the waifus.
I request at
and the
least
husbandos.
3 outfit changes, non-negotiable.
You get 3 separate cards. They're event cards.
Hell yeah. I'm in.
That way, like, and the rate up is only like 0.00, like, it's like a 50% rate up, but that also only makes your draw like 0.006% or something. Because people don't understand what rate up is. It's gonna be good, but you get special costumes! And then, like, obviously when you have the costume, you can, like, change our outfits in the load-in screen or whatever to like the different ones. I definitely have an outfit that says like, I only get dressed for the podcast and it's just me in fucking pajamas. I've clearly recently gotten out of bed. I have bedhead and I'm like, no, I'm totally awake and fully put together with a full face of makeup, and it's no, not at all. Nope.
I want something like a progression path, like I can't remember his name, but the fake samurai from Kill la Kill, who like starts out as like a samurai guy with like a bokken, and then like he sews his eyes shut as a character development and wears a bandana, and then like in the 3rd evolution, like his bandana is just up because he unsewed his eyes again.
Okay.
Something goofy like that. That's what I want. Brendan, you all right?
Oh no! I just got Jesus. That wine.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Did you just try to inhale it with like your lungs?
I didn't know I had that many wrong holes.
Oh.
God.
I was taking a sip of water and it almost went all over my keyboard. You can't say phrases like that, Brian, when I am drinking
Okay, I'm sorry.
a beverage, an actual beverage.
Well, what the fuck do you think this wine is, Tegan?
Oh my god.
Look, I'm drinking water. I'm hydrating.
Like an actual beverage, you
An actual beverage.
old fuck. Like,
All right, I think this might be a good time as any to like get into news.
oh yeah, because Burger King is news, you fuck.
Yeah, you got me there. Okay, everyone, I want to talk about something. I know I'm in a particular age group that will think that this is a good idea, so I'm just going to go ahead and deal with that accordingly. Burger King is running a contest for people to win a possible PS5.
A possible PS5?
Possible PS5. They're giving away 1,000 PS5s, about 4,000 game codes between Sackboy and Demon Souls, and 1,000 subscriptions to PS Now via their new giveaway. What it is that if you make a purchase, a qualifying purchase of $5 or more or whatever, you'll get a token from Burger King as long as you use their app or input your receipt information onto their app or their website. Then you'll get a token that gives you access to an instant win game. And then if you win that game, you had a shot at a PS5 or other PS5 related prizes. But here's the thing. You guys aren't going to win a PS5. It's not going to happen. I mean, someone's going to win a PS5. It's definitely true. Someone out there is going to do it, but I can assure you that that person is not you. It's not going to happen. Sorry.
Is it going to be me?
Tegan, and I mean, it could be you, but also it probably won't be.
Aww.
So, one, you can only play once per day, right? So that's the thing. Like, you make your $5 purchase, and that's it. You pay $10 in one day, too bad. You only get one token. You get one token a day, and that gets you one play a day until the end of the promotion, which is November 22nd, which is 32 days from the day that this podcast drops, right? Now, based on the number of prizes, there's about like 6,000 PS5 related prizes and 190,000 Burger King food related prizes. Which means if you want to try to win a PS5 related prize on any event that you do win the instant win game, which I can't speak to the odds of. I don't have their algorithm, so I don't even know. But if you did win the instant win game, you only have a 3.1% chance, or 1 in 33 chance of winning anything that's related to the PS5. And if you want the console specifically, it's even less. You get a 1 in 200 chance if you win. I want to put this in perspective. There's 32 days from now, I guess, to when the promotion ends. And if you play every day, if you go to Burger King every day and spend at least $5 and get your token, and you somehow, by some weird wizardry, manage to win every single day, you still only have a 15% chance of getting a PS5, right? But let's say you aim a little lower, right? Like, maybe you want a PS5, or maybe you already plan to get it, and you just want to try to throw in a shot to try to get Demon Souls, or maybe Sackboy, because you're insane. But, like, if you go for that, which makes your chances twice as good, honestly, it's a 1 in 100 chance, and you still get the same odds, which is you go to Burger King every day, you spend your $5, and you somehow win the instant win game every day, which, once again, you won't. You only have a 28% chance of getting Demon Souls when you win. Now, the majority of the time, or what we'll call the non-PS5 related prizes, you will win 96.9% of the time. It's a fucking near certainty. And of those prizes, you're probably just going to get a small drink. So if you do play the instant win game, don't leave the store first so you could at least get a refill. But outside of that, you have like a 1 in 4 chance of getting some medium fries, a 1 in 10 chance of getting a fucking Whopper or a sandwich. So, like, let's say you played every day, which you shouldn't. Your pre-tax cost, because it's pre-tax, you got to hit $5. There are 32 days of eligibility. That means if you tried every single day, with tax, that's $173.12, which is still a bargain if you actually win the PS5. But once again, where we started, you are not going to win that PS5. But if you like Burger King and you want to get some extra burgers, or honestly, more fries and some extra small drinks, then sure, go for it. But don't do it to get a PS5. You're not going to win.
Okay, but can I tell you something? Can I tell you something real dumb?
Sure, Takes.
Your chance to get a PS5 is higher than your chance to pull Venti in the raid up for Genshin Impact.
Which just...
It says on here you have a 0.51% chance, right. And for Venti you only have a 0.3% chance, so you literally have a better chance of getting a PlayStation 5 after spending $5 than you do of getting a 5-star character after spending $99.
Which just tells us another story, which is that gacha games are broken.
Gacha games are so broken, and they make so much money.
That's how you make $100 million in 12 days.
That's how you make $100 million. It's more by now. It's been out for longer than 12 days, but like, damn. I just made it made $110 million in 12 days. That's bullshit. I want to make $112 million in 10 days.
Let's make a gacha game. We'll figure it out. But honestly, this whole Burger King story, it's not really news. You got me. But what it really is meant to do is to wind Brian up so I can let him loose on this next story.
One second. I'm still recovering from the paralysis I'm experiencing from the fucking reading of Burger King odds.
You know you had to do it, Brian.
You fucking nerd.
You had to do it.
Like,
the odds are better of getting Venti, though. Or of getting a PlayStation 5. Like, I'm not gonna be able to get Venti, but I might get a PlayStation 5 if I spend $5.
Maybe.
That's wild! That's bullshit! I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna order myself some Burger King.
Okay.
Hang on. I'm gonna DoorDash myself some Burger King. Hang on.
Enjoy your small drink, I guess, Tegan.
I will enjoy my small drink. Maybe I'll get a fudge sundae. Maybe I'll be lucky and get something I'll eat.
1 in 6 chance. You know, you could do it.
Yeah. I could get a fudge sundae. I like sundaes. I like fudge.
fucking Christ.
But maybe I'll get the PlayStation because I already have one pre-ordered.
You get
like,
to scout both of
that's
them?
what I'm saying.
God.
Yeah. Like, if I want the PlayStation, then I'm just gonna have to keep one of the PlayStations. Like, that's it. But also, like, okay, so one time, when I was picking up Pokemon Sun and Moon, remember all those eons ago when that game came out?
Christ.
I went to a midnight release event, and they did a trivia game and a drawing. If you answered all the questions on the trivia thing right, you got entered into the drawing. And of course I did, because I'm a huge nerd. And so I got entered into the drawing, and they were like, we're just gonna pull it, and if you win, then we will give you one copy of the game. And I had both copies pre-ordered and paid off, and my number got drawn! So they were like, okay, well, we'll just cancel one of your pre-orders then. Like, you'll still get both the games, obviously, but one of them is going to be free, and the other one you're going to get your money back for. It was dumb.
For sure. Fuck.
It's happened, though.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Brian, we need you.
Take it from your hand?
Jesus.
I'll take it. I'll drive it. I'm going to drive this place right into Anime Central. Where do you want to go, Brian?
Jesus, take the wheel.
Was that Carrie Underwood, or who am I thinking of? Who sings Jesus Take the Wheel?
Is it that... I don't know. Is it that girl who does In the Arms of the Angel?
I thought it's the one that does Since You've Been Gone.
Carrie Underwood, you are correct. Also, I spelled Jesus wrong.
Brian, please move to the next story.
Jesus, take the wheel. Fuck me. All right. I'm going to order $5 of Burger King, which I will use to stop up the exit wound from the fucking gun in the back of my head.
You got to remember, it's $5 pre-tax. Otherwise, you don't get the
I
token.
will fucking kill
That's
you.
okay. I can order $5 of Burger King. I just want some chicken
All
fries.
slave owners.
I love chicken fries. Chicken fries also come in the Cheeto dusted version, so like they do count as my orange food quota.
Oh my God. Okay.
This is not the... All right.
Mm-hmm.
A little under the hood for our listeners who are not patrons is that, and our patrons know this, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Brian put something onto the fucking show doc that said, no more than 4 bullets, Rocky and Tegan.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I remember. It's totally there.
The idea is that the problem is that when we did not adhere to making the stories more lightweight, we would start to just like read a wall of text, at which point it was very possible for someone to slip into a fucking diabetic coma because like we're seriously sitting here going and saying things like 60,000 coupons for a free small soft drink, just doing that.
Hey, I just want to make sure if someone wants to check my math, like, they're not going to be able to front on me. It's all there. I'm just being thorough, Brian.
Rocky, reading about that much Burger King turns us all from sandwiches into croissantwiches.
That's really funny. Also, I didn't say those numbers. I was definitely just going to leave that for the patrons if they wanted to dig into it. But, just saying.
Just saying. I'm just saying that Burger King giving away a couple fucking PS5s is not news.
Yeah, I know. I already said why I did it. I'm waiting for you to do the story.
It's my birthday. God. Hey guys, you know what I hate?
What do you hate?
Late stage capitalism.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I also hate late stage capitalism.
All my homies hate late stage capitalism.
There's nothing more cynical and stupid that exposes like the raw avarice and shittiness of all human beings than people who just like look at something which is happening under the auspices of late stage capitalism and go, you know what, that's somehow fine to me. I don't mind. That looks okay. And like we've had some previous winners on this program for studios which have just like the worst labor practices and then the worst market reactions to the worst labor practices. I believe our previous gold medal winner for that is Rockstar Games, which like...
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, where it's like we find out like working at Rockstar is an absolute nightmare, but then when we like turn to the market to have a reaction which is remotely representative of human empathy, they're just like, you know what, man, I like them shark cards. You're just like, fuck off, all of you. And here we are again. Here we are again, where like CD Projekt Red has had this like kind of like checkered lead up to the release of Cyberpunk 2077, where periodically they will drop the ball in such a way that like exposes just the naked greed of any kind of like capitalist fucking organ. And you know, I just like think back over the highlights of like the ways they fucked up. There was the Cyberpunk 2077 transphobia, and then there was, you know, where they were like a year or two into the development cycle of the game, like pointedly saying in interviews like, yes, this game is deliberately and intentionally political because it's fucking Cyberpunk. And then most recently being like, no, the game's not political. But here we are. We're about a month out now, the release of the game.
So they say.
I think it's going to happen this time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that part of the reason it's going to happen this time is that as far as competition goes this holiday season, there's really none. I mean, like, what is it? Like Watchdog Legion? You know, like Assassin's Creed Viking Time?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are there any other, like, major titles this holiday season other than, like, Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Watchdog Legion?
I mean, no, but there's also 2 other games.
But those 2 games, like, now I am more excited for Watchdog Legion. That's a case of personal preference, and knowing something about just the design pedigree of the game. But if you were to ask a general market, it has been 8 years since the announcement of Cyberpunk 2077, and there are people who have been frothing at the mouth for that entire 8-year period. And there are a lot of hard dicks who want to give a lot of video game controllers special hugs when this game comes out. And they don't care what we've heard about like the development cycle of this game, or the changing value systems, or the revealed value systems of CD Projekt Red over the course of the game. And probably more insultingly enough, a lot of people have kind of like created this like fetishized image of CD Projekt Red, where they're kind of like imagining them as some kind of like whimsical Willy Wonka, like lesson teaching, fun, good time Charlie fucking hand job tent festival, good time gummy bear fuckboat time.
That's kind of a run.
It is. They're just like, you know, they have to be nice. And it's like, well, why do they have to be nice? Because they're good to their customers. And it's like, well, here's the thing. Here's the way capitalism works. Is that like, in a situation where like the capital that owns the business is privately held and is not publicly traded, you still have to make a decision about how you're creating a value proposition. How are you making irresistible deals for your customers? And CD Projekt Red is a company which also owns like a, you know, like a major storefront online, and routinely in
Wait,
support
what
of their
storefront does CD Projekt Red own?
GOG, Good Old Games.
Oh, for sure. Go ahead.
Yes, right. So when you have a company that is routinely like dumping like thousands of hours of man hours into like updating old games so that way they can run well on like modern PCs, and also like dumping shit tons of like hours into like refinement of already released products like Gwent, like that has to come from somewhere. If they're treating us, the customer, like super great, then that means that somebody is bent at the waist with a pineapple in their pussy. Surprise, surprise, it's the people who work there. CD Projekt Red has been in fucking crunch for Cyberpunk 2077 for, it looks like, depending on which department you're in, at least 2 years. Some people have been in crunch conditions for longer. And even better is that they are sending out employees in like something which very much feels like a hostage situation kind of vibe, to be like, hey guys, would you mind not talking about how we're abused because we're abused? Like, it just, guys, it's weird because like I really wanted to. I mean, this part's gonna sound selfish because now I'm just contextualizing this around like my own feelings. Like, I really wanted to play this game. It's been a rough year. And, like, there have been moments throughout the course of the year where, like, the fucking absolute bleakness and terribleness of, like, 2020 has been temporarily swept away here and there by a game which has been a solid diversion. You know, things like Animal Crossing New Horizons, or Maneater, or Blazeball. You know, things where you're just like, okay, you know, for this 10 minutes, 2 hours, 3 days, things just kind of fade into the background. And I was really looking forward to, come next month, settling into several straight months of attempting to be a cyberpunk man. But now, I just, honestly, I look at the way that this company has, like, comported itself over the last several years, and then, like, the way that they seem to, like, have handled the reporting around them having such a heavy crunch culture, being like sending people out there to like ask people to not talk about it. And I don't even, I'm not sure I want to play this game anymore.
I get that.
Yeah. And it gets harder and harder to like ask myself to make those decisions when I have already, from a position of ethical consumption, stopped watching WWE products. If I won't consume the products of this company because of their like unethical behavior, then why would I give another company a pass? Okay, this company is no good for me because they abuse their employees. Then why would I seek out the other product of another company that abuses their employees? I don't know. How do you guys feel about 2 years of ongoing crunch, like at least at CD Projekt Red?
I mean, it's gross.
Fuck.
It's nasty. I hate it.
It's just,
I absolutely hate it.
so fucking bad. You know, like, I'm not going to sit here and let them off the hook for everything, but like, one thing that Nintendo seems to be good at is messaging delays when delays are real. And even though there are caps that allow for the existence of overtime, period, which I'm not cool with, Nintendo does maintain a hard overtime cap for individual employees. So, like, I don't know.
Well, that's okay. I mean, you don't have to know, because on the opposite end of the scale, how do Supergiant be good? And the answer is, everyone is happy. And they mean genuinely happy. Because Supergiant cares and understands that their employees are people and need time to do stuff other than game.
Not like gun to the head, fake happy, send them out to do the bidding in public happy?
Absolutely not. No, they're just like, yeah, literally everyone who started up this company is still here. We hired 10 more people, and everyone's working on different stuff, and, like, everyone's cool.
Like, hasn't Supergiant been, like, going for, like, 10 years?
Yeah, since their first game, Bastion, and, like, every single game that's come out of there has been really good. Not, like, everyone's favorite game ever, but like Hades, you know?
They've all been turning in good work, like Pyre,
Yeah.
Transistor, Bastion, and now Hades.
And it's definitely because, like, it's not gun to the head, say you're happy to the camera, you know, don't blink twice so we know that you're not trying to signal anyone on the outside that you're miserable, you know? It's like, nah, man, like, I like working here, and I would stay here longer, and I don't know what I'm working on next, but I can't wait to start, you know? Which is really cool.
It's really wild. They're actually, like, legitimately, like, a multi-discipline, like, art collective. And they put out video games.
You know, something else that made me very, very happy recently was I watched a documentary by Danny O'Dwyer about the working conditions at IO Interactive. And finding out that, like, people at IO Interactive are very happy and encouraged to maintain, like, healthy work-life balances, and that there's no overtime at IO. Like, just, it just, a lot of times it feels like people conflate liking a game with liking the business practices that produced it. And they've just got to stop. They've just got to fucking stop. Like, you know, you guys know I'm on the Twitter. It's a place I hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're there now.
I was specifically thinking about CD Projekt Red when there was something I tweeted the other day. I said, inside of me there are two wolves. One is disappointed and ashamed to be a part of the video game community. One is disappointed and ashamed to be part of the wrestling community. It really sucks to have two live emo wolves inside. And it's just because, like, it seems to be that in the run-up to this fucking Cyberpunk game coming out, how many people are like, well, how could it be bad there because the games are good? How could the people who made The Witcher 3 run a place which is bad to work?
It's a pretty common fallacy, right? Good product can sometimes come from terrible conditions. Actually, probably more often than not, it has to. Like, it feels like it's necessitated. But, like,
Right.
Like, places like IO Interactive and, like, Supergiant show us that creatives can be creative and they don't need to suffer for it. Like, the idea of a suffering artist is actually a fallacy, and we shouldn't, like, venerate it.
When we had on Dave earlier this summer from Iron Galaxy Studios, you know, one of the things that we talked about with him was how Iron Galaxy Studios was, from an outsider's perspective, participatory in their individual communities in Chicago and Orlando. And he said, really? Because when we did internal studies on that, one of the things we heard from our employees was we needed to do more, and so we did more. It's one thing to see these companies that work so hard to make their workspaces better for their employees, and it just makes me want to throw all of my money at them. It gets more and more exhausting to, as a consumer, as a person, know that I have contributed to systems of abuse.
Yeah.
Yep. I think more companies should look at what Supergiant does and be like, we have enough money that we can do that. You know?
I really like Supergiant. I feel like, as well as Supergiant is doing, I don't think their, like, strategy can, like, be reasonably scaled up. Specifically, I don't think EA or, like, Rockstar could, like, reasonably do what Supergiant's doing.
Rockstar fucking could. Rockstar fucking could. They have the money.
Well, like,
GTA just prints money. Are you fucking kidding
that's
me?
what I mean. Like, I'm not sure it's, like, a money problem. Because, like, some of the things that, like, Supergiant does is stuff like forced vacations as opposed to, like, implied crunch and, like, policies that discourage things that will allow crunch to happen. And I think that can be, like, spread industry-wide. But there's also people that kind of, like, straight up work, like, oblong hours, and they just kind of do whatever they want. And at a large enough company, there are definitely people that they'll lose track of that will just simply cost them money. Not everyone's Darren Korb, you know what I mean? And, like, Darren Korb works better, like, nights or whatever. And, like, that means he doesn't see most of his collaborating staff. And that is some detriment. But also, you're getting Darren Korb level work year after year. So, like, that's fine. But I don't know how well EA could like accommodate someone like that, and that is like difficult. But I hope that like the same way that say Microsoft is kind of like buying up studios, that like they allow them the kind of autonomy to do stuff like that, and even when they do like internal audits or whatever, that like the studios that are under the Microsoft banner have like the wherewithal and the autonomy to like defend those kinds of practices if they are productive, I suppose.
I think that's a really good call out, Rocky. And I specifically want to call out the culture and the community of 2 different studios which have been purchased by Microsoft, saying that like, I hope that the culture in those studios gets preserved and is allowed to continue like unfettered. The first one is Double Fine, which annually stops production on every one of their like major projects that they're working on and proceeds to have something called the Fortnight, and people are allowed to pitch whenever they want and like lead projects of their own interest and work on projects that interest them for 2 weeks. And it's just kind of like an internal game jam where it's just like, hey guys, just like, you know, think of things that interest you, think of projects that fascinate you, pursue them. If they go somewhere, they go somewhere. If they don't go somewhere, that's fine. This is just about like us blowing off steam and stepping away from our air quotes work for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And there has actually been stuff that has come out of that ultimately as commercial products, but that's not the important part.
Right.
Sure, Costume Quest came out of like the Fortnite at Double Fine, but before Costume Quest was a commercial product for our enjoyment, Costume Quest was like a way for guys to like take pressure away from working on Broken Age. So like, you know, please preserve that as a culture. Or the way Ninja Theory balances work so that way it encourages like multidisciplinary learning without overstressing. Like, there is a reason that Hellblade was developed by 20 people. Part of the reason Hellblade was developed by 20 people is that it had a very long development cycle where everybody involved in the project was multidisciplinary. People were doing more than one things. Their lead animator was also their mocap actress for their central character.
That's right.
And you can only do that if you're like saying like, okay guys, our development cycle for this game is going to be significantly longer than a traditional development cycle, so that way people can wear more than one hat and we can go slow. That works. It created an environment where they put out a beautiful game without people like wanting to fucking throw themselves into a wood chipper. Obviously there has been some stuff which has come out over the years about working conditions at Bethesda Game Studios. Not necessarily some of the studios that were subsidiaries of Bethesda Game Studios, because remember, Bethesda Game Studios represents multiple studios. Bethesda Game Studios was a fully functioning like AAA company before it got absorbed. So there was also stuff like id Interactive, and oh god, Rocky, I'm having a fucking stroke. Dishonored, help me out.
Dishonored? Give me a second. Arcane.
Rocky, you're having a stroke. Dishonored.
It's Arcane Studios.
Arcane, thank you.
Jesus, that was funny. Sorry.
It's cool, Teeks.
Yeah. We know that, like, there's been stuff about the working conditions at, like, BGS, but not necessarily stuff about, like, the working conditions at, like, id or Arcane.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason to treat human beings like disposable trash that allow you to make your fucking, like, your profits. Like, I just stop. Just fucking stop.
2020 is the year we stop treating our fellow human beings like disposable trash.
I'm about it.
And we eat the rich. Those are the two things we're doing.
Yeah, man.
Hey, everybody, my name is Gary Guillotine, and I'm coming for you.
I'm coming for you, and you, and you!
Oh,
Yay!
okay, so we haven't done it in a while, but I want to talk a bit about GameStop.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so GameStop Corporation on October 8th announced that they have entered into a new multi-year strategic partnership agreement with Microsoft.
Ugh. All those words sound disgusting.
Okay, but...
to my CorpCom brain, I'm like, all of those are fucking buzzwords that say, we're not going to go under yet.
Yeah, okay, no, but hold on. More on that later. GameStop, out of this agreement, are getting more than a couple of things. One, they're getting company-wide licenses for Dynamics 365, which is Microsoft's cloud-based business applications. So store associates will be able to access insights, but information about customer preferences and purchasing history, real-time information about product availability, subscriptions, pricing, and promotions, right? They're also going to get Microsoft Surfaces, their tablets, in stores for store associates. Apparently management already had them, but now it's going to be everyone everywhere. And there's going to be company-wide licenses for Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Teams. But, that's technical jargon. That's mostly for investors. Doesn't matter to us. What matters to us is that GameStop is now going to offer Xbox All Access. A couple weeks ago, we talked about how GameStop was going to start offering payment plans, basically layaway, for the next-gen systems for both the PS5, which didn't have one at the time, and Xbox All Access, which was, competitive with Microsoft's thing. Well, not competitive, Microsoft's thing was still cheaper, but GameStop was offering them and they're global. So now they're just going to do Microsoft's thing, right? But the real kicker, the thing that I want you all to pay attention to, is that GameStop is also going to get a cut of every digital purchase that's made on an Xbox that they sell. Okay? There's a line in the press release that was buried in the text, it's firmly in the middle that no one really paid attention to at first, that reads, GameStop and Microsoft will both benefit from the customer acquisition and lifetime revenue value of each gamer brought into the Xbox ecosystem. Right? And there's a couple investors that saw this line and knew what it could mean, so they sought clarification. Domo Capital Management President Justin Doparala told Ars Technica in an interview, quote, I received an email from GameStop Investor Relations representative Eric Cerny, and in the email he said, we are allowed to state we will receive a portion of the downstream revenue from any device we will bring into the Xbox ecosystem. Doparala later added that Cerny told him in a phone call, so we don't have the direct quote, that the deal applied to all digital sales on all next-gen Xbox consoles sold through GameStop, including pre-owned ones. So, Doparala says, if someone bought a console from Best Buy and then traded it into GameStop, and then GameStop resells it, then GameStop would get a revenue share on digital content purchases on that console. There was another analyst that Ars Technica talked to, a Loop Capital analyst, Anthony Chakumba, who confirmed the same basic outline based on his conversations with GameStop management. His quote goes, the way it's going to work is for every Microsoft Xbox console that GameStop sells going forward, GameStop will get some percentage of the revenue from every digital full game download, DLC, microtransaction, and any subscription as well. Now, that's a lot that GameStop is getting. And GameStop's stock has rebounded a bit from its huge fall. I think at some point we were saying it was under $5 a share.
Yeah, well, it was $3.18 a share.
There it is. Now they're closer to about 13. Nothing incredible, but they kind of quadruple from their fall. So they're doing something. Now, the big question is, what does Microsoft get out of this, right? And maybe they sell a few more Xboxes, but honestly, even with GameStop pushing, I don't see that needle moving so much. But the thing is, they are definitely going to sell more Xbox All Access packages, which was probably their short-term goal with this deal in the first place. Even if, their package was cheaper for layaway, maybe people have a relationship with GameStop, and they just do it because they know their guy at GameStop. I know I would. And they probably want to make sure that all the layaway packages that they can are Xbox All Access packages, because what they want to, or at least what they seem to want, they being Microsoft, is to prioritize digital membership. But honestly, if you ask me, I think the most valuable thing that Microsoft gets out of this deal is a relationship that'll make it easier for them to build a fleet of Microsoft stores in the future, similar to the way that Apple stores are out in the world right now. Currently, this looks closer to not really an acquisition, but more like an annexation, kind of the same way that Apple did to the AT&T store. So like AT&T stores are definitely around, and people can buy other phones at AT&T stores, but if you go to an AT&T store, more often than not, you likely have an iPhone, and like that's where you get it to get serviced or whatever. And this incentive deal, like the downstream purchases with digital content, is only going to catalyze that relationship between GameStop and Microsoft. And maybe Microsoft will see enough success with the deal and maybe gain enough control that they just straight up buy GameStop and rebrand them as Microsoft stores. But also, what might happen, and maybe a bit more likely, is that they learn enough about the retail space, given the tools that they are lending GameStop and the data that they'll be able to collect because of it, that they end up going into the retail space on their own.
So, okay, all right. I have so many thoughts. I have so many feelings. So first, let's remember, Microsoft tried to enter the physical retail space once.
They did.
Once before, and they got burned on it.
I remember.
Yes, and it was because when they tried it, they're like, hey guys, please step into this not an Apple store and buy not an Apple product. It was very much the look and feel of those spaces. You know, as opposed to being like everything was white and looked like it was a spaceship like the Apple stores.
Right.
It was like everything's like a light colored wood, and our employees have different lanyards. But I think the advantage here is that when we look at the way Xbox's relationship with hardware is evolving, and the idea that like you can enter an Xbox ecosystem without necessarily owning an Xbox console, I think that that's where something like this becomes more advantageous. You want smaller, more informal spaces where somebody can like kind of like cruise in and not necessarily ask questions about Xbox consoles,
Right.
but ask questions about Xbox ecosystems.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Hey man, I hear that this Xbox All Access is a good deal. How can I get in on it? Now, there was something that happened this past week, and I wish I had an article in front of me, and I will try and find it for next week. But there was some material that Microsoft sent out regarding Xbox Game Pass Ultimate that used the following language and said, and this works whether you're using Xbox Game Pass Ultimate on the Xbox console, on PC, or on Android. And buried further in the small print of the text was the revelation that there are going to be games on the Google Store that you will get codes from Microsoft that allow you to download the games without cost from Google's ecosystem.
Huh.
Right. The idea that, like, wherever you can have hooks into a play experience, Microsoft is going to have this, like, all-in-one encompassing, like, product to support your desire to play. The ability to have, like, a smaller storefront, because like, think about, like, the size and shape of Apple stores, okay? What like, if you're hunting for adjectives to describe Apple stores, what adjectives would you use?
Sterile?
Sterile, big,
White.
boutique, white.
It's definitely an adjective.
Boutique?
It is an adjective, but like it's not. It's bland, but also somehow it's like bland future. Is that a genre?
Yeah.
Can that be a genre?
If it was chrome instead of white, the mood wouldn't change.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
If someone built a Tiffany's instead of a hospital, it would be an Apple store.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's that. I can get behind that energy. Yeah.
They're these very deliberately ostentatious, big spaces which are designed to evoke like a level of prestige and class, which as Apple has for years used to justify what was a tentpole of their previous strategy, which is the things are expensive here because the things are good here.
Yeah.
No, they're not good though.
Now,
But that was
They
just
used
a
to be
lie that they
good.
told.
right, a subject for an entirely other episode. And actually, in light of this week's iPhone presentation, an interesting topic to get into would be like how quickly Apple is running away from that strategy.
Well, that's actually really interesting because that seems like core to like Microsoft's strategy. Like they definitely put out the Xbox Series X, right? Because their brand has been like the most powerful console for like, I don't know, a decade and a half now. But they are realizing that like the real key to like winning the platform wars will be volume of players. Like they want to get the most people to play the games that they have available.
Right.
And they definitely announced the S and like they put out the X, but while some people like thinking of old Xbox or old Microsoft would be like, oh, they're prioritizing the X over everything else. But no, what they really want to do, they want to have the S be the thing that you want.
Right. So then I started to think about like the way the modern GameStop looks. And if you were to start to like use words to describe the modern GameStop, I would describe it as like messy, weird, and charming. Now that's a combination that we call in marketing the good Belushi. And you don't want to lose that.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. And those like small cluttered stores have the same kind of vibe that people have for years associated with phone stores.
Well, I mean, they did push Cricket for a couple of years.
Right. But they had that vibe even before they tried to fuck with Cricket.
That's fair.
Yeah. But like if you strip out the dog shit, if you strip out the goddamn Funko Pops, and you just like be a place where people like navigate physical electronic products and allow them to buy games, then all of a sudden those become a much more like appetizing prospect. Like, you know, like we were saying about the AT&T stores, like sure you could conceivably walk in there and buy a Samsung phone, but are you? You know, like
yeah.
I see the long run on this being like, okay, Microsoft doesn't necessarily run up the flag and rebrand everything that they buy immediately as Microsoft. They understand that rebranding has advantages in some situations and does not in some other ones. Like, I could see Microsoft becoming the ultimate owner of GameStop and not fucking rebranding it. Not calling them Microsoft stores, not calling them Xbox stores, continuing to call them GameStops, and continuing to sell fucking PlayStations. But when people walk in and go like, hey man, I got a computer at home and it does all right. I bought it for the kid so he could do school. They're like, I'd like to start playing some video games. What's the best thing I could do? If the nice man at the counter says, well, sir, if you already have a PC at home, the best thing that you could do is
get Xbox Pass Ultimate.
Then you don't even need to like walk out of this store with a bag tonight, sir.
That's true. Yeah, it's just like sign them up and they just walk back out.
Yeah.
Games will be there when you get there.
Exactly.
Imagine the games will be there when you get there. Wild. What a time to be alive.
Oh my god.
So like there's a thing that we have said before in the store, and an idea that's been evangelized by one of our recent guests, Stuart Templeton, that the console wars are over. The idea of a console war is now like an archaic concept, which shows like a lack of understanding about the business. That where we are now is the platform wars. There was a shitty email that Sony sent out to its customers this week. It said, hey everybody, just to let you know, there's major changes coming to the PlayStation Store in order to get ready for the PlayStation 5 launch. And so, effective October 21st, you will no longer be able to buy digital PS3 or PS Vita games. They sent out that email this week about October 21st. That's nuts.
I get that, but I do also want to say, like, while they haven't actually given us a date before this, they have been, like, overtly saying PS3 and PS Vita support is going to end soon for about a year.
Well, to give you a yardstick to compare it against, when they stopped supporting the Vita as part of PS Plus, they gave us 18 months of warning.
That's fair. I'll accept that.
Yeah. Even as like stuff like online support for various like multiplayer functions for PS3 games has wound down, they made sure to get in front of that and say like, hey guys, sure, the multiplayer functions for Demon's Souls on the PS3 don't function anymore, but at least you can still buy it digitally. And when they announced the cessation of manufacturing of PS Vita cartridges, they said, like, hey guys, we know that you're stressed out because you can no longer buy PS Vita cartridges, but just remember, you can still buy the games online. It feels like signaling that change with like less than 7 days notice is like a huge departure from the way they have previously messaged that. And it's also like, if you look at their nearest market competitor in the handheld space, Nintendo has like historically been really, really good with messaging like how long you have before like your wine turns to vinegar and your prune juice turns to poop. Like I know that when the Wii shop stopped working and when the DS shop stopped working, we had something like 12 to 15 months worth of notice because they wanted to make sure that because in order to use those spaces, you had to convert money into points because those were the last Nintendo online stores where like the prices of games online weren't necessarily like fixed dollar values, like $20, like, oh, this is 240 points or this is 800 points. And so like they knew that like getting money into those ecosystems was an irritation.
Mm-hmm.
And like they even set different dates for here's the last day you can add money to the store versus here's the last day you can download something from the store versus here's the last day the servers will be up for replacing old files that you already had downloaded. Like 3 different dates for cessation of service, all messaged with out by more than a year. I'm just saying, like, it feels remarkable for a company as large as Sony to tell people you will be fucked in less than 7 days.
I agree that that's remarkable.
And considering that, like, the way that Microsoft is heading into this next generation is, hey, we're incredibly customer friendly and all of our services are designed to make, like, interacting with our products as easy as possible. It feels like a bad move. Like, I don't know, we'll see. Like, I mean, people were obviously, like, super hot to trot on these PS5s, but, like, they got scooped up by all the sneaker bots. And so, like, I don't know if we have a real understanding yet as to, like, how intense the desire is for PS5s out there, because the scalpers got the ball.
Well, I don't know. I see buzz on Twitter, especially, like, when they did their UX announcement, which, honestly, I don't know if that deserves an entire, like, presentation. Well, I mean, they got, like, what, 12 minutes?
Yeah.
But the UX stuff seemed to, like, suggest some interesting, like, innovations, and maybe they'll grow from it. Like, I'm probably still not going to buy one anytime soon, but, like, I agree that there may be some things to be excited about.
It's weird because, like, thinking about, like, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate has me thinking, is the next machine I buy a GPD Win Max? Because GPD has issued their next console. The GPD Wins were, like, historically, like, bare bones, super low end PCs. Anything that you get running on here, you're going to be running on low specs, etc. And they finally decided that, like, okay, well, there's people who are interested in handheld gaming who are not necessarily low spec gamers. Let's develop a console with those people in mind. And so they just released the GPD the GPD Max. And the GPD Max is like, it's a larger form factor. The screen is 8 inches. That the keyboard on it is like a full-size keyboard that a human can type on. And the idea is it's still that like handheld console experience, but now it's stuff that's like you're playing some games on like medium settings and some games on like high settings. Like it's a chance to like play in the PC space handheld and do so with things that like look good and load quickly. And I'm just like, man, like, is that the way I initially get into this generation? By buying a GPD Max and then just logging into my existing Game Pass Ultimate subscription on that and just start downloading stuff?
Maybe. Why not?
Yeah. Oh, man. Do we have any other, like, odds we need to read? Like, odds for winning God of War from Bojangles or...
See, I told you guys, it was always going to work. It's all part of my master plan.
It did work. You are correct. And it is always a joy to hear.
I'm sorry, what What?
I love listening to you get riled up. It's fun.
Yeah. And, like, you know, that story was specifically designed to rile you up. Like,
Yeah.
that's what it was for.
To be fair, it's just like I also enjoy listening to myself get riled up because I'm like, yeah!
I almost drowned in wine of my own making.
You did. It's how Jesus would have wanted it.
Jesus would want me to drown?
In wine of your own making.
Okay.
And wine of your own making.
It's a miracle. You're drowning in miracles.
So, everyone, this has been our show. We do it every week. It's called Impossible Coin. You can find it wherever podcasts are found.
Fuck SoundCloud! Fuck them!
Fuck
Guys, give it a
SoundCloud!
second.
Double.
We are on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Guys, now you can do it.
Fuck SoundCloud.
Oh, now you guys don't want to do it? Are you guys serious?
Fuck SoundCloud.
Thank you.
Fuck them. No special hugs for them.
Speaking of SoundCloud, our good friend, kid brother of the show, Big Sach, produced the music at the beginning and end of this podcast. You can find his work on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/BigSachNJ. And if you want to drop a line to the man, the myth, the legend, you can find him on Twitter at Hillary_Swank. Our logo is also a t-shirt. It was designed by mask fashionista Lauren Moran. You can find her on Twitter at Lauren Moran and consider donating to her Patreon. She does the good business. And speaking of Patreon, we have one of those too. It's at patreon.com/Impossible Coin Podcast. And maybe one day it'll be /Impossible Coin, but you know, we'll get there when we get there. We are also on social media. Brian's on Facebook, maybe moving to Instagram. I'm on Twitter. Tegan's on Tumblr. It's all Impossible Coin. No underscores or dashes or anything weird like that. In fact, if you see one of those, let us know, and they will be appropriately handled. But that's us. That's the show.
Yeah. It's a good show. Go watch Scream 2. Peace.
Bye!
Later.
It's official.